The Browns announced Andrew Berry as their new general manager. Berry returns to Berea after spending last year in Philadelphia. He's getting his first shot to be a general manager, and he is in fact the youngest general manager in the NFL at 32 years of age. He is 5 years younger than Kevin Stefanski. Stefanski getting his first shot to be a head coach in the NFL, and in fact, his first chance to be a head coach at any level. Stefanski, 37 years old. Both Ivy League educated are Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski, and both feel they're confident that they will be successful in their new roles with the Cleveland Browns.
I'm ready for this challenge, and I think we're adding the right people to this, and that's what I believe in. I believe in adding the right people, and then making sure that we have the right processes in place. But our vision is so forward thinking, I can't really go back and I can't change my mentality based on what's happened in the past.
There's something that really, you mentioned his integrity and football side. Maybe this is a good setup.
Yeah, I think he broke in under some really good football people. I think Bill Polian and he's mentioned, Howie and Ryan Grigson, and I just think I similarly broke in with different head coaches, different coordinators. I think it's so important as young coaches or young scouts that you're exposed to different ways of thinking, different philosophies. But I think that's really formed him into a very complete general manager, and both in terms of evaluation, in terms of leadership style, all of the above.
When you guys talk about
Yeah.
do you guys
It's hard to say without having all of our players here in the building, but every roster is different year to year, so as we add people to this mix, we'll make sure that they fit the mold of what we're trying to build here, and then I promise you we'll get the right people in here, and that will come over time.
We're talking though about picking character guys.
Oh no, what specifically did he say?
Well, John, I don't remember what he said, but like John Dorsey willing to gamble on a lot of second. Do you believe in second?
I believe in second chances, sure, but I think we'll be very smart about the people we identify out there that we want to bring into this building. I think Andrew mentioned smart, tough, accountable. There are different case studies, obviously, but we'll be diligent about keeping it to a group that we're proud that they're in this building, that they represent the Cleveland Browns.
What makes me confident is just how aligned we are, our shared vision with football, with culture, and servant leadership. Look, success is never guaranteed, but what I can say is we're going to work together, we're going to work hard, and we're going to work collaboratively across football operations and our coaching staff as we strive to turn this thing around and develop sustained success.
We've heard that word vision now since December 29th. Could you define what this vision that all you guys share is?
Yeah, so I guess to start, vision encompasses a couple of different areas. One, how we're actually going to build the team and play the game. Kevin, for instance, on the offensive side of the ball, has talked about his belief in the marriage of the run game and the passing game. How we're going to be quarterback friendly, and how we're going to emphasize positions across the roster that really impact the passing game. From a cultural standpoint, you guys have all heard this idea of collaboration, making sure that we get the best ideas, the best perspectives as we make any major decision, whether it's on the roster, on the field, or across football operations, so that we can ensure that we're driving the organization towards excellence. And then the other piece is how we actually behave, how we treat one another, not just at the senior levels, but the staffs below us, and making sure that we're working cooperatively, we're working progressively, and most importantly, we're working hard on a daily basis.
You left a year ago. Was being a GM eventually your goal? Was it maybe well before that?
When I left a year ago, that wasn't necessarily the focus of that decision. I really saw it as an opportunity to work with who I believe is the best general manager in the sport, and Howie Roseman, someone who has such a broad skill set, have a chance to take a step forward in my own career and broaden my own horizons. I wasn't really necessarily focused on a race to the top, so to speak. I think that just really happened to play out the way it has over the past couple of years, or over the past year.
Congratulations, welcome back. How would you assess the current roster? Do you see an overhaul or rebuild here?
Yeah, so I start by saying number one, any roster assessment should incorporate a number of different perspectives. I certainly have my own view. I think it's important to incorporate our pro personnel staff. We're still building a coaching staff, and I think it's important to get their perspective on our players and their fit within our offense and defensive systems. But look, the roster is, there are definitely a lot of young core pieces at key spots. We certainly have a very strong foundation upon which to build, but that doesn't mean that we don't have work to do, and it doesn't mean that we're not going to add competition and talent really across every position.
Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski talking about their vision for the Cleveland Browns. They are now the general manager and head coach in charge of the Browns.